Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. Yo, listen, man. Y'all, shorty has had like a crazy week, and ever since all this stuff with my son's been happening, it's kind of like made it hard for me like to focus on a lot of things. But you know what's crazy? Sometimes as a parent, we we have to make decisions that we don't want to make. That in our hearts, it really hurts. Because what's crazy, right? Ever since the situation with the school with my son happened, I, I've I've been able to save my son, but it's like it's crazy, right? Because I think is I don't want to get the dates wrong, so I'm gonna say a year and a half before the incident in the school happened. 2 years, my son, a year and a half, I think, 2 years before the incident happened, my son was already dealing with losing his father. So we was dealing with the depression and all that stuff, and with the ADHD, trying to figure out if it was autism and much more with my son. So it hasn't been an easy battle. That's why I talk and I make these videos, and I've said it time after time, right? But as a parent, when you really see them six flags, them red flags, don't think that it's six flags. I apologize for the way that came out, but it's kind of like, damn, like, because sometimes as a parent, you be like, yo, I did this, I'm doing this, and it's like, it feels like it's in vain. Don't don't think that it's in vain. Don't give up. Keep trying. Me right now, I'm dealing with the decision as in like, damn, my son is being hard headed. And I would like to I'm not here to, how can I say? I'm just here to get this off my chest because it's crazy, right? For years I've been battling the situation with the hashtag mental health with my child, trying to see how we can get different types of services and much more. It's to the point we're in 2023 now, right? And it hasn't been easy, not just for me, but for a lot of parents out here. And I'm going to keep fighting because this right here is just showing me how the people that work in the system are, what their priorities are. And my eyes are open because it hurts to see my son suffer, right? And the crazy part is that I'm here for him, giving him everything that he's ever wanted and needed. He's never not needed of anything. Like, if we've needed food, I've found a way for all of my kids to have food. At the times that we've hit rock bottom, I've sat here and, as a mother, as a father, any mother, any father, like, screw me. As long as they dressing good, as long as they eat good, I don't matter. So as a parent, a lot of us let ourselves go just so that our kids can have everything that they need, right? And as my kids have been growing, I've been teaching them that what matters is family. And growing up, like raising them, I've had a lot of interference, right? And more with my oldest son because he's been more of a daddy's boy. And when his dad passed away, it's kind of like more he when he feels like he'll look for his grandma, for his aunts and stuff like that. But he will look for them more than he will, look for mom. Me and him have always had a tight bond. Like, we've talked about everything until he got so hooked into these computers. And I'm gonna be very honest. For a while, I was like, all right, the games are helping him. The computer is helping him, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, even myself, I was saying it to the therapist, to the psychologist. It's like, I need him to go out more. It got real hard. It's to the point where, right, I had him, we managed, like, especially when the school incident happened, we managed to get him into all these programs. And trust me, they were working. They was helping us out. When Trump got into office, I'm not going to sit here and lie. We was able to get so many services for our kids that it's not even a joke. Once Biden got into office, all them services that we had for our children vanished. They're gone. They were hard to get. And a year ago, all the services that my son had were taken away. And it was real hard to get them services. When I tell you that I had to fight to get all these services, and now to get these kids back on these any type of services, they have to be on waiting lists and stuff like that. You know what's crazy, right? Because my son's situation has gotten out of control to the point where I can't trust my son here in the house because he's defiant. He's to the point where, because a lot of people has told him, "Oh, look, listen, you're this old, you could do this, you could do that." He thinks he could, do whatever he wants, and there's no consequences. Forgetting everything we have fought for, forgetting that he's adjudicated, autistic or not. My child knows the situation that he went through and the consequences that go after if he doesn't do exactly what that judge does. So it's kind of like everybody wants to cover this up and cuddle him and cuddle him and cuddle him. And I'm like, do y'all not realize that this is getting dangerous? This got to the point where if I don't give him what he wants, he will put his hands on his mom. Because he tried it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. What would y'all do as a parent? So I'm not wrong in this part, right? So I can't get him no services. I can't get him in no type of programs where he can be an inpatient because he needs it. He can't be in the same house where he lost his dad. He can't be here. And I have to save all my money over to, move out of here, get into a whole new crib and everything, because I just recently started working and I'm just getting another job. It's kind of like now that I'm getting on my feet, right? It's kind of like, and I'm not even on my feet all the way. I say that all my lives, right? I'm just here getting this off my chest, guys. So it's kind of like I'm confused because you do everything the fuck right. And it's kind of like, damn. And when I tell y'all that I only got 2 people in my life to help me, which is my kid's godfather and my kid's godmother, I don't have no family in reality to sit here, yo, I got your back. No, I don't have no family. My brother is dead. He has schizophrenia. I have a brother that we're all trying to find. I have a sister that I can't talk to because of everything that she's done, and we cannot accept her back in our lives. And my other sister is just getting on her feet, and she's moving from house to house with her boyfriend trying to get on her feet. So it's kind of like, boom, a shorty got everything in her shoulders, right? The whole world in her shoulders, right? Damn. And I'm not complaining. I don't have a problem with none of this, right? But here's my thing. When you sit here and you beg to get your child services because he's in a spectrum back, and you know you need this help, and your child doesn't want to change, but you got 2 other kids that you got to look out for. One is homeschooled, and he's failing the year because you've been dealing with your other child stuff because he has no services. In school, he's doing fine. But when he comes home, it's like, what the hell has been happening? Then his dad's side of the family really doesn't help. Like the aunt that wants to come and help is like put in a predicament herself too. So the grandmom is not a good influence. All she thinks about is money, spending money, getting money, how to get money. And my son is thinking the same way as her right now. And you know that when a child is in the spectrum, gets an idea in their head, it's kind of like, then how the hell do we get this idea? And it's hard to unteach them. That's why I've been saying, look, listen, when there's influence outside, whether it's family, whether it's friends, it doesn't matter. Listen, I learned the hard way, and I've been learned it. But it's hard. This boy is 16 years old, and as a parent, I have to sit here and I have to go in front of a judge because his mentality right now is, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I want to do whatever I want to do, and if you don't like it, oh well. So that's going to lead him to 2 places. And him being in the spectrum, he's not understanding. And the people that, like the school, I get that they want to help. But see, they don't understand that I could lose my other 2 kids if my son doesn't get it together. And unless, because the way the law is right now, he goes voluntarily to do the things, nothing can happen. I can't do nothing as a parent because HIPAA tied my hands behind my back as a parent. As a parent, I can't do nothing. And if I try to do something and my child will says, hey, look, sis, she beat me or she did this, because it's happening to so many parents. You know what's crazy? They'll come and lock the mom up. And the child is free out in the streets to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Go search it up. Go search it up. They're even helping kids at 16 and 17 get their own apartments. How? Since y'all think y'all can handle him, come on. Because he's not capable of living on his own. He can't manage his own money. He thinks that, listen, you spend $600, he gets $600 in his hand and he spends it on a computer. That's what he'll spend his money on. My son still, how can I say it? It's still easily manipulated. And I've said that time after time. The kids that are on the spectrum are very easily manipulated. And I don't know, what are we going to do? Because as parents, we're going to have to make that stand. Me personally, I don't know what y'all would do as parents. I would love to hear what y'all would do as a parent if you have a child that, whether he's in the spectrum or not, because I think they need to be treated equally, in my opinion. Would you let your child back in after because he couldn't follow the rules or he can't handle what mom says? Unless you get the help that you need and the support that you need and get into the programs that you need, would you let your child in to cause more damage and more chaos, knowing that they're only there for a second, knowing that they sat there and told one of their siblings that they just really don't care about nothing. They just there to get away with what they want to get away with. And whenever they feel like it, they'll do the same thing over again. No. See, y'all not helping me teach my son what I'm supposed to teach him. And if I'm doing it alone, I'm wrong. See, when you raise your voice at a child, to them, it's considered abuse. But no, your child is not supposed to overtalk you. And this is why, like I said to them, listen, I don't like the fact to be in front of a judge and having the judge decide for my child, but my son has to learn what happens, the consequences of all his actions. Because each and every one of his actions has consequences, whether you're in the spectrum or not. See, out here in these streets, when you do certain things, there's consequences behind it. And hashtag mental health, that little card doesn't save nobody from going to jail or from going to a casket. So as a parent, I'm going to do whatever it takes to save my child. Ain't no sugarcoating when your child is defiant and thinks they could do whatever they want. If he's only acting this way so they can think that he's good and maybe they'll let him do, no, it doesn't work like that. See, I know how my child is. But see, they don't know my child yet. And it's crazy because if they would have been a little more a part of our lives, knowing what we was going through, they would have known. And I know that everybody has a life, but the same way y'all expect for us to call and check, oh, let me pick up the kids. Listen, y'all can call and check up too. Because not everybody is going to sit here and say, give me this. I'm going to get up. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to work hard for it. And I'm going to get what I need. And if I need help, if somebody offers it, yes, I'm going to take it. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to my kids, my pride and my ego, I have to put it to the side. So it's just crazy how I'm noticing, right? And I peep it. But my son is going to learn his lesson because he thinks that, okay, I'm going to sit here and do what I did over there and get away with it. No, it's not like that. Because not everybody has this patience. Not everybody has the patience of a parent. And even though it hurts deep down inside, when a child is acting like this, get the help, or you end up in the hands of the person that we've been trying to save you from. And my son is not the only one going through this. I've had so many parents sit here and talk, and it's like, damn, what advice do I give y'all when I'm sitting here trying to save my own son? All because he wants to sit here and go out, and he thinks that in this person's house, he could do this, he could do that. It's not like that. It's not like that. And when y'all are in the spectrum, even when y'all 21, unless y'all can prove that y'all can live on your own, y'all still need to pay Y'all still need somebody to sit there and help y'all with y'all daily living. That's the crazy part. So, listen, as a parent, I'm making the hardest decision that I have to make, because if I don't do this with one, I end up losing three. And as a parent, I'm not willing to lose three. It's like, damn, like I'm trying to save one. Ever since the situation with the school happened, it's kind of like, what the fuck? It's kind of like, yo, like he's good when he's got services, but without the services, it's like I'm trying to put together a broken puzzle that I had. So having these conversations with a lot of parents and listening to what a lot of them have to say is like, damn, I've seen a lot of them kick their kids out to the streets with nowhere to go. And I'm sitting here trying to help my son, trying to figure out like, yo, listen, you got to do it this way, because it's not the way that these people is making you think. You're going by people that at the end of the day is not walking a mile in your shoes. Like if people want to mess up their lives, blessings, Willis, blessings. How you doing? If people want to mess up their lives, they can. But see, it's harder for my son to understand the message I'm trying to give him because of him being in the spectrum. But as a parent, it's like, damn, I have to. I have to sit here because after what you said to your brother, I have to sit here in front of a judge and say, look, listen, I'm not going to be able to handle the situation. I want to. But after all this that has happened, he's to the age where he already knows, listen, you're 16 years old. You don't got to go to therapy if you don't want to. Supposedly, I don't know why they keep trying to tell kids in the spectrum that they can get emancipated, but no, a judge won't emancipate y'all in the spectrum. Now, if you're not in the spectrum and you don't have no type of hashtag mental health, and you're able to work and you're able to do this, and you're 16 years old and the parent agrees, you can get emancipated. Yes. But that's a fucking hassle. That's not something easy to get around. And I know because I was emancipated. I know the steps. It's crazy as shit, but I know the steps. And to get emancipated is not easy. And the only reason that judge agreed was because I was working and I was pregnant at 16 going on 17. But somebody in the hashtag mental, and I had to prove that I had no hashtag mental health like that. I do have, how can I say it? They say I suffer from bipolar depression. They had me medications when I was younger, but I don't know if that's even true. You want to know why? Because now that I'm older, I know I got anxiety, but who doesn't? A lot of therapists have told me that, right? And it's something that's easily controlled through a diet. Shit, I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody to go ahead and do it, but shit, Mary Jane helps me. But at the end of the day, like, damn, these laws really got these kids thinking that they can run their parents. I can't sit here and put my son in the streets, right? Being his mom, knowing what he's going through. But I can't let him in my house knowing what he has done, the disrespect and how he has burned his bridges, right? But the law prevents me from doing what I got to do as a parent. How the fuck, as a parent, do I do what I have to do? Because it's crazy, right? I treat all three of my kids the same way. But the oldest one got a whole attitude. He's mad as shit because mama said no. Mama said, give me. You can't have this. You're not getting emancipated because you haven't shown me that you're capable of taking care of a place. You can't, listen, you get $600 in your hands and you go straight to a video game, straight to buying something that has to do with a computer. My son can't live on his own. And a judge seeing him, going to see it for themselves. So it's like to the point, I have to go in front of this judge, whether the school likes it, whether people like it or not. You want to know why? Because no matter how many times I've said it, that he needs help, that he needs some type of support, nobody listened. The principal, the vice principal, the person that is the only person that's been trying to get me help. You know what's crazy? She found a way to get him into Belmont, right? But as an outpatient, when we need him as an inpatient. They expect, this is what these hospitals expect for a parent to do. Let a kid lash out and destroy the whole house to the point where they either hurt themselves or hurt you or hurt somebody in the house for them to sit here and give these kids the help that they need. And as a parent, I'm not willing to let my child hurt themselves or hurt anybody in the household for me to sit here and say 911. Please send over a special unit. We need to 302 my child, blah blah blah, and keep going. Who wants to stir up a problem with their child just cause? Make it make sense. This is the same conversation I've been having with so many parents. What are they going to do? I'm in the same fucking predicament. We all got to get up and speak, stand up. But what's crazy is one person is willing to speak up, make that stand, and 100 is willing to sit down. Like, if it doesn't take all of us. Because in order to make that difference and in order to make that change through this HIPAA, because guess who made it? Guess who made that HIPAA law? It got made through Congress. At 16, my son is not going to overrun me. At 16, my son has to show me responsibility. At 16, my son is not going to do whatever he wants. And if he's under my house, it's under my rules. He has to. He has to follow my rules. Y'all can't sit here and keep telling my son, well, you have to try. No, he has to do it. There's no giving. If you've given your child 1, 2, 3 chances, what do y'all do? If y'all was in my situation, in my shoes, or in the shoes of another parent that is going through this with kids that are in the spectrum, what do y'all do? It's kind of like y'all stuck in between a nail and the wall. But if it's that easy, if my child could sit here and go over there and say that my mom raised her voice at me and y'all consider it abuse, then y'all tell me what the fuck to do. And like I told my kids' family, y'all stand up. Y'all see if y'all can handle my son's situation the way I handle it. If y'all have the patience to deal with him the way he is. Because me as a mom, I handle it because I love him. I gave birth to him. I brought him into this world. But damn, to have to sit here because he's influenced so much through his grandma right here that it's like my son really does think that he could do this, do this, do this. No, it's not like that. And if your grandma thinks that, oh, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to get away with it, then grandma needs to step up and take you in there and do what I do. Sacrifice what I have sacrificed. Sacrifice it. Will y'all? Will y'all sacrifice make all the sacrifices that a real parent has to do? Go through what a real parent has to? Because, yeah, he's a grandchild. He's there for 1 second for y'all. Y'all can give him back. It's not like y'all keeping him. He's already showing it. That's why I said, life lessons for these kids are really needed. When I tried to do it with my firstborn, everybody intervened. And it's crazy because it worked with my second and it's working with my third, showing them exactly the consequences of what could happen. But you know what's crazy? That don't do it. He can't understand. He can't handle it. Yes, they can. And my son has proven it. But since he's got people cuddling him, he's got people covering for him, guess what? He's going to keep thinking this. He's going to get away. As a mom, I have to be hard on him, whether he's in the spectrum or not. Blessings, Miss April. Blessings, how you doing? Blessings, Empress Goddess, Spiritual. Blessings, how you doing? Like, as a mom, as a parent, if y'all had a child that was in the spectrum or wasn't in the spectrum, and he becomes defiant to the point where he disrespects you not once, twice, but 3 times, and you know you can't let him in here because of what he has done, would you? Would you sit here and just throw him on the streets, or would you sit here and get in front of a judge and say, look, listen, I need help? And that's what I'm doing. I'm fighting to get him the help that he needs. And in the meanwhile, all the ones that are talking, like his dad's side of the family, step up to the plate. Because y'all know his dad has passed away, right? I've been doing it by myself the whole time. Don't just talk it, walk it. Sacrifice what I'm sacrificing. Sacrifice what I've sacrificed. Because for my child, I would sacrifice my life. But my child has to learn. And this is the same thing that I tell a lot of parents. Don't stop being hard. Because in the beginning, like I've told y'all, yo, they had me scared shitless. I didn't know what to do. And by the time I started making that stand, by the time I started getting up, it's like, what the fuck? And yes, there's programs out here. The fucked up part about it is, and I'm sorry I'm cursing so much, is that since Biden got into office, all these services that we used to have, they're no more. They don't exist. They got taken away. And he said he was going to do it, and he's done it. What's crazy is that we're paying for it as parents. Because my child being adjudicated and going through what he went through, what's crazy is he's only in one school. And at the end of the day, with what happened with the school district and everything, he's not accepted in no schools. So if he messes up his chance, like I told his dad's side of the family, he messes that opportunity up, he gets no more chances. But he is messing it up. Why? Because at the end of the day, instead of y'all sitting here and guiding him through the right path, y'all guiding him through the wrong path. It's like what mom says in the system, the people running the system, I'm not going to say the system, the people running the system is fucking it up because they're not really helping parents. They're making parents' situation worse. But what are we going to do about it is my question. See, I've been giving Ms. April a shout out because I have been doing my research. I'm about to start doing my reaction videos on my podcast. So, like, for those of y'all, if y'all not subbed up to my second channel, go sub up to the podcast because I'm going to be doing the reaction videos over there. And when I do the meetings, when I actually speak up and do all that at the school board and all that, I'm going to do those here. I'm going to try to do those live. Hopefully, work things out. Yes, a shorty's back, and I'm going to go harder on things because at the end of the day, whoever's running the system, they're not doing their jobs. They're making it harder for a lot of parents. I'm not the only parent saying this. I'm not the only, like if y'all go to Facebook and y'all go to Instagram, there's a lot of parents speaking on the same type of situation that I am speaking on right now. So since I've noticed and I've gave it some time, and you know what, Ms. April is right, this is going to be a fight that I'm going to have to make alone, a stand that I'm going to have to fight alone. Because I noticed that a lot of parents say, I'm behind you, I got you, but they back up. Why? I could never seem to understand it, and I'm not going to break my head to try to figure it out. All I know is that at the end of the day, I'm going to show y'all that we could do this. Like, it's no more sitting around. Like, how much more can we keep talking? We're going to keep repeating ourselves. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again. So I'm to the point, it's like, fuck it. It's time to fight back. And I'm not scared. I did it once before. And as crazy is that I wish that my son's side of the family would see that my son has an adjudication. That is no different from being like a house arrest or being on probation. And when a mom says that their child needs help, instead of cuddling the child, step up. Step up. But I would love to hear a lot of people's opinions on what they would do if they had a child that starts getting defiant because of the influence that they get from the outside. What would you do? Child 16, 17, able to work, autistic or not, because even the kids with autism are able to work. Kids with autism are able to do the same thing. It's just that we have to go about it in different ways. Autistic or not, what would you do? Because I've said it time after time, even though you have a child that's autistic, ain't no cuddling. You have to talk to them. You have to show them. Like, I just wanted to get on here. I'm not going to make this a long live. I just wanted to get some of that out my chest because I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this world. Like, yo, it's crazy because I've seen in the past couple of weeks a lot of parents get locked up because a child with autism or a child without being in the spectrum, without hashtag mental health, has screamed. My mom is yelling at me. My mom has gripped me up by my shirt. My daddy popped me upside my head like that. Y'all really locking people up for that? But yet y'all got teachers that bring meth and coke to school. And that's okay, right? What is y'all going to do as parents is what I would love to know. Because I've made my stand and I'm going to keep fighting. And I'm going to keep showing y'all my journey. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. See, I don't just got one kid. I got 3 kids that I'm fighting for. 2 of them are doing really, really good. Real good in school and out of school. But the first one is kind of like, damn, what the hell do I do? Especially with all this influence around him. And I'm like, when it comes to them, it's me and them. Because their dad is deceased. That's why we need a lot of the fathers in these homes. And stepdad helps. But you know what's crazy? My son is the one that doesn't want to listen. And I'm a woman and a mother saying this. That it's to that point that my son is hard-headed. Like, when you're not listening to the people that really love you, to the people that really care about you, as a mom, fuck, why do I have to be put in this predicament? Shit. And I know that a lot of these moms feel like this, like, damn, it's this pain right here that you can't get rid of as a mom. Like, why do I have to do this? As a mom, I don't want to see you go down that road, but if I have to put you here to save you, then let that be. Because I don't want to see you behind bars, and I don't want to see you in a coffin. And I suggest that a lot of moms keep fighting, because some way, one way or another, we're going to get these programs back. But sitting down, we're not getting shit. So we're going to have to do something. I don't know what y'all going to do, but I know what I'm going to do. So I hope that y'all join me in this journey and let me know what y'all think. Leave y'all comments down below, because like I've told y'all before, a lot of y'all comments will help me out when I go to these little small meetings. And now that I start going into these school board meetings to see how I can go about putting cameras in each and every one of these classrooms. And for those people who's like, oh, I think there's cameras, for those that think there's cameras, no, there's only cameras in the hallways and in the main office, in the entrances of these schools. There's no cameras in the gym. There's no cameras in the lunchroom. There's no cameras in these classrooms. The only reason y'all see these incidents that happen and occur in these classrooms and these schools and stuff like that is because you see a child or a teacher or staff or somebody, it doesn't matter who, but they're pulling out cell phones. That's how y'all seeing these molestations, these bullying, the shit that's happening in these schools. Everything that's happening in these schools that y'all are able to see, y'all not seeing it because there's a freaking camera there. If anything, you can see the cameras in the hallways, yes. There's not cameras in no classrooms, no lunchrooms, and no gyms. There's no cameras there. Only in the main office and in the hallways, in the main entrance of these schools. So yeah, I think a lot of us really need to get it together and start doing our research when it comes to that, because I did plenty of it and spoke a lot on it. So shout out Ms. April Showers, because like I said, you have been, everything you said makes a lot of sense, and you're like right there. Like, shorty, don't quit, keep going. I wasn't quitting, but I was slowing down. I was kind of like, damn, nobody gives a fuck. Like, what am I going to do? I was stuck. I was really stuck, and I needed that push. Shout out Ms. April, real shit. Shout out, yo. Like, I thank God for, letting you hop on my panel that day when I was speaking about, a different topic, and you brought that up, because it's kind of like, damn, yo, she's right. She makes a lot of sense. She's spitting gems and she's speaking facts. So, yeah, I need to go a little harder than what I've been going. And for those of y'all, listen, for Shorty to make this stand alone, y'all signatures do matter on that petition, because it will back me up to make a fight alone. For those that, I've shown it. People don't want to make a stand when it comes to speaking up to these schools, and I don't know why. But if we was able to get these cameras into these school buses, we can get cameras into each and every one of these classrooms, guys. We could prevent situations like the one that my son went through, or worse situations like the ones that other parents have been through. Because trust me, we got parents out here suing the school for molestation, for raping, and a whole lot more. These school districts are being sued this year for a whole lot of stuff. So I just wanted to get some of that stuff out my chest, because I'm sure this world, I will never understand it. But till next time, this y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. Let a shorty know, whether it's in the comments below, in the chat, doesn't matter. Let a shorty know what you think. Some people will always have a place in my heart, but not in my life.
Hey, yo, Flory, turn me up.
Because when I tell you that it hurts, it hurts. Envy in your eyes, yet you want trust. Can't tell if you're an enemy or a friend. I mean, back then when I was naive, now I'm older, some say wiser. I'm no fool. I'm only a friend when convenient. Took a while to understand that what was real would never leave. Only when you're in pain and alone, you know who you can really depend on. You say you a friend, where were you when I needed a hand? Shit, you was following a trend. A friend ain't nothing but $1 in your pocket when the money gone, so are they. And they say a friend in need is a friend indeed. You watched as I drown, now I'm getting around while you in the dog pound. Shit. It's funny how karma has a tendency of bringing things back around. It's not funny when the one you look up to is the one wearing the crown. You nothing but a clown. What you need to do is bring that ass back around town and, like Deja says, smack a nigga with an open hand.